guys, I just wanted to do a quick video here and show you this technique I have for getting a scratch effect in Ableton. It's based off of a tutorial Mad Zach from DJ Tech Tools did on YouTube a while back, a couple years ago I think, in which he uses a drum rack to trigger samples and modulates the pitch envelope and start position of the samples to get that pseudo scratch sound. My technique sort of expanded upon that. I use a free plugin, Max for Live plugin, Mapulator, which allows you to control multiple parameters with one smart knob. And in this case here, the dark line that runs from one corner to the other is controlling the pitch envelope. And what that means, I've also got this smart knob mapped to a crossfader. What that means is when I move the crossfader, you'll see that little indicator move to the right, and if you look here, the pitch envelope will go up and go down and control the pitch of the sample. Now at the same time, there is another parameter controlling the start position of two of these clips, and it's shaped like a parabola, as you can see here, the dark line. And what this grid here controls is the min and max values that are being sent to the macro knobs, which in turn control, in this case, the start position of the clips. And as I move the crossfader, you will see the start position of the clip change in the window here. It scrubs forward. When the crossfader is at the center position, the value being sent to the knob is 0, or the beginning of the start position for this sample. And as I scroll, this value increases, increasing this knob, which increases the start position. You can see it go up. What this allows me to do is control start position and pitch at the same time. As you notice, the start position increases and the pitch increases when I go to the right. When I go to the left, the start position changes and the pitch decreases. This allows me with one finger of a crossfader to control the start position and pitch. If I want to play, midway through at a lower pitch, I can do it here. I want to play midway through at a higher pitch here. One important thing to point out is if you do not set a min and max value for the parameters, Mapulator will do like any other control. It'll send a 127 max value and a 0 min value. In the case of the start position of the sample, it would scrub all the way through the sample and give you a section here at the end where you would be trying to scratch silence. So you just adjust the parameters for the start position and the pitch, min and max, that sounds good to you for whatever clip you're using. And as you can see, each one of these three clips has their own min and max values for the pitch envelope, and of course the start position is at 0 because I want it to start at the beginning, but the end of the start position varies depending on the size of the clip. And what this does, as you can see in particular in this sample here, if the max value were 127, as I scrubbed through the clip, it would go all the way to the end and you'd hear silence. I want the maximum, the far right position on my crossfader to stop here. The smart knob of Mapulator is being controlled by this iPad app, MIDI Designer Pro, using this crossfader here, and you can see as I move the crossfader, the smart knob responds. Now what's nice about this app in particular with this application is that it has a snap feature which will return the crossfader to its default position, which you set when you're designing the buttons or the knobs or a crossfader, and it goes back just like that. That gives you a bit of a sped up sound or a slowed down sound depending on where you launch the clip from. And these parameters can be adjusted when you're designing the button. I have the default value for this device at 64, which means it will be set at the center, and the snap to default value set at 10 milliseconds, which is the amount of time it takes to go back to that position. Alright, I'll give you a quick demonstration of how this effect works. Of course, start position changes, pitch changes when I move this, when I launch the samples. So that gives you an idea of how that works, and with the snapback feature you can get some interesting effects. So you get the idea. It's pretty straightforward. You can see when I recorded this particular track here, all the modulation that's happening from Mapulator's smart knob. And I'll just start this real quick so you can see how these parameters are changing down here. Give you an idea of what's happening. Everything I recorded in is being shown here. Pitch change, start position change, clips being launched, all the values changing, and it's all happening with this one smart knob, which is controlled by the MIDI Designer Pro app. The whole process is it looks more complicated than it actually is. Once you get things set up, get your hands in there and understand how everything's mapped, it's pretty straightforward. And it gives you a lot of opportunity to scratch your own samples instead of using pre-made scratch sounds from sample packs or whatever. I will provide links in the description to all these items. Just wanted to say thanks to Mad Zach for coming up with the initial idea, which helped me get to this point. Bento San, I believe that's how you pronounce it, is the guy who made Mapulator. Genius. Thanks to DJ Tech Tools for providing the ability to download this plugin. The MIDI Designer Pro app, great app. You guys should check it out. If you have any questions about getting any of this stuff set up, send me a message. Let me know. I'd be glad to help, because I've got a lot of useful information over the years from the producer/DJ community here on YouTube. Stuff that taught me, quite a bit. Wouldn't be where I am without that stuff. So thank you to everybody who's made great videos. I hope you guys can use this. If you do and it works for you, let me know. Thanks. Later.